atrocities. Donald Trump getting in office is an existential threat to America as we know it. You may have voted Republican all your life, and that's your party. It's like being a fan of a baseball team. This is the way I go. And your main issue may have been abortion. Number one, you and I both on that issue have been played. Because I'm pro-life. So we've both been played. Right? Voted for Bush twice. Like, take that second one back. But, you know, if we put Trump in place, we're going to have some problems that we've never had before. And some people are going to have those problems because they're voting against their own interests, trying to protect whiteness. Trump says he doesn't know anything about Project 2025. 31, and I saw this stat yesterday. I just couldn't put it up. 31 of 38 people that wrote it were in his administration or his transition team as he became president. I saw something that really expands that number, but I'm not gonna, but if it's true, it's a lot more than 38. But it doesn't matter. For him to say he doesn't know the people, it's just not the truth. It's just not the truth. Project 2025 leader, we are in the process of a second American revolution, which will remain bloodless if the left allows it to be. If anybody that doesn't agree with us stands in our way, the heck with democracy, this might become a blood-soaked revolution. Can you imagine 20, 30 years ago, maybe 15, somebody making a crazy statement like that out loud? Now, that's the Heritage Foundation. That's one of their leaders. Can you imagine if he said that years ago? They ran him out of town. Not that it's not the same organization, but you couldn't say those things out loud. Pastors weren't allowed to talk about politics, but that changed around Trump. That changed around his first election. First presidency, excuse me. And you have pastors like this guy saying, if you're a Democrat, I don't want you in my church, you baby butchering. I mean, just crazy. And if you think January 6th was something, you ain't seen nothing yet. Why? Because they want their way. And they're willing to be terrorists in order to make that happen. Oh, beloved, I hope you're listening tonight. Let's bathe this in some Bible and look at how God feels about this. If you claim to be in the light and you hate your brother or sister, you're in darkness. But the one who hates his brother or sister's in darkness and walks in darkness, he doesn't know where he's going because the darkness has blinded his eyes. Can't see. Leading you, sometimes some of them from a pulpit. Oh, I've got a good friend that has gone astray and doesn't even realize it. Listening to this propaganda, listening to the narrative, and not understanding what this means. And it is amazing to me. Well, I guess I shouldn't be amazed, but you would think that people have been, the world, you've not watching enough just movies on deception or something that would give you a clue that these kinds of things happen, but people are still being easily deceived. And believing somehow that everything's going to be okay. We put these people that want to do Project 2025 on January 20th, on day one, we put them in charge that everything's going to be okay. And it won't. because of the things that they're not saying the quiet part out loud. They're just saying it out loud. They're just saying it out loud that we want to tax cuts for the rich. We want to get rid of the Department of Education. We want to raise the age of retirement, basically making the haves and the have-not slaves. We want to defund schools that will teach. They put critical race theory on everything you can think of. We want to defund schools that do that. You have to register and take the test for the draft if you're in a public school, but in private school, you don't have to. Is anybody listening to me? My kids went to private school. But we know most black people do. So you fight your wars while we rule the world. You fight our wars, while we rule the world. But that's not God's plan.